Hi, my name is Mary. Today FM plays the best music in Lambasa. Today FM rocks.
My name is Thomas. I'm here in Nakasi and I like to listen to Today FM because it rocks.
My name is Milenia. Today FM rocks here in Singatoka.
My name is Enrique and Today FM rocks here in Tabwa.
My name is Mary Jane. I love listening to Today FM here in Ba. Today FM rocks.
My name is Ilay Tiambal and I love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks here in Usur.
Today's hit music on Today FM.
And the news tonight, vendors continue to sell undersized crabs. No job loss, a pay cut for health workers. And passengers on board MV Ulinambukelebu rescued.
From the studios of FBC Suba, I'm Rita Saga.
Hundreds of undersized crabs have been seized and released back into marine protected areas by the Fisheries Ministry. With an ongoing awareness campaign on the issue, there are still vendors who choose to go against efforts in sustaining the species to its marketable size. Koroi Tandulala spoke with several vendors today who revealed reasons for not adhering to the regulation.
These vendors have been selling crabs for more than a decade and often catch undersized crabs which are not allowed to be sold.
That's what we struggle for in order to provide a source of income for our families. If they are confiscating our source of income, do they have any initiative that will help our individual families? We can go to them and ask them to lend us sugar or flour and all those things we have to. Who else should we cry to?
62-year-old Anikila from Rewa says she goes out in the early hours to check on her crab traps and sells whatever she catches.
Some of us left home at 3 in the morning to catch these crabs and return home at midday in our search for things to sell and provide for our family. Now we don't know how else to find avenues to provide us with daily income.
We're just asking for a solution that will mutually benefit both parties' interest. One that will help us maintain our source of income and livelihood and at the same time help the ministry in their campaign.
Fisheries Minister Semi Kuroila Visau says it's important that vendors are educated on the importance of sustaining our marine resources.
People still try to ignore the regulations that is in place, but the awareness is much better now than previous years. I think there has been resistance from the public, but we're trying to educate them too at the same time.
The minister says they will continue to educate people on the need to protect these undersized crabs so they can grow in numbers, not just for now, but for future generations. Koroi Tandulala, FBC News.
The salaries of health workers will not be affected despite a reduction in the Health Ministry's 2019-2020 budget allocation. Minister responsible, Dr. Efremi Wangainambete, says there are rumors that many health officials will lose their jobs or have their salaries cut. Kelly Vadala tells us more.
There's been a lot of talk in the reduction of pay for health workers following the latest budget announcement.
That's actually false. No one will lose their job. All the staff that we have within the Ministry of Health, they remain as it is. Government is very, very clear with the budget that it has tried as much as possible to maintain it as it is.
Minister Dr. Feremi Wangainambete says the 2019-2020 national budget is a responsible one.
There's been also rumors that to an extent that not only people lose their job, but also, people will lose their pay, but that's all rumors, it's not. And I think in this budget, it's a responsible budget. The tax incentives that are there and the tax threshold that is there ensures that there's a better disposable income for all Fijians, especially civil servants that work within the Ministry of Health.
The Health Ministry was allocated $349.8 million in the latest budget, comprising of $303.5 million for operating expenditure, $34.7 million for capital expenditure, and VAT of $11.5 million. Kelly Vadala, FBC News.
17 passengers on board the MV Ulinambukelebu and its crew were rescued last night after the vessel encountered engine problems. The vessel, which was drifting in the Lomaiviti waters, had sent out a distress call. Police say the government vessel MV Dangivo responded to the emergency and rescued passengers and crew on board at around 8 p.m. Police say there were no reports of casualties. The vessel has been towed to Levuka to await the arrival of a tugboat from Suva. Discussions are currently ongoing between Fiji Airways and the Boeing company in relation to compensation, with two recently purchased MAX 8s grounded for almost 4 months now. Managing Director and CEO Andrew Filleon says they have been in constant discussions with the regulators and Boeing. Filleon says they really want the MAX 8s to be flying again, however, they don't have a say. The Boeing MAX 8s were grounded following the Ethiopian Airlines crash that killed 157 people in March.
Well, basically it's out of our hands. And as I say, we're in constant discussion, and I know that, and they also, Boeing, are keen to get this going. But we have to basically wait for the regulators and Boeing to arrive at a point where they're all satisfied that the aircraft is 100% safe.
Attorney General Said Kayum is urging law firms to strengthen their understanding of construction laws. This comes after some donors encountered issues while working with certain construction companies. Koroi Tandulala reports.
Most law firms in Fiji lack the knowledge of construction laws.
Some donors actually had issues with some construction companies where they weren't able to do things on time, materials used to disappear, they do not follow the contracts. Again, I think the legal profession has a major role to play. If you go to most of the law firms in Fiji, they would hardly know anything about construction law. The ability to understand things like, the standards, legal standards that have already been established in Australia and New Zealand is not there at all.
The Attorney General is urging law firms to look into the legal side of things within the construction industry.
I made a plea to the law firms about 2 years ago for law firms in Fiji to start specializing in different areas. I mean, even we find with the road construction works that's going on in Fiji, that level of sophistication is not there within the law firms for them to be able to understand, like I said, the sort of nuances within contracts that deal with construction.
Syed Kayum says Fiji has a long way to go in terms of understanding the level of sophistication involved in construction laws. Koroi Tandulala, FBC News.
Still to come, ACCCF processes compensation claims. And former Education Minister Philip Mbole laid to rest. Details after the break.
Nambula FM, nambandua ya nasere.
Oya uvasit sai sai lambasa, ya ndo talita ina warong nambula FM nambandua ya nasere.
Gua do tumeli ako na tao no hinga toka, talita kina na warong nambula FM, nambandua ya nasere. Wana tuma nambula FM, nambandua ya nasere nawaluan.
Na vengo fani na tao.
Economy Minister Said Kayum has lashed out at the opposition side for their misconception on some of the policies highlighted in the national budget. Said Kayum suggests the opposition members should look at the policies holistically. Kritika Kumar reports.
National Federation Party leader Professor Biman Prasad claims changes in duties can at times have negative effects on the desired outcome.
We've been told that it would take 18 months. And refusal to do so would mean further cost added onto the vehicles through modification by fitting extra gadgets to the engines to comply with emission levels. And the cost would have to be borne by the consumers. So apparently, Mr. Speaker, Japanese manufacturers have Euro 3 and Euro 5 models. Euro 5 models cannot be imported into Fiji because our fuel is Euro 4 compliant. So we're told that 150 million worth of orders have been placed for vehicles already.
In response, the Economy Minister said Prasad should have read the regulation gazetted on June 7th.
The regulations that were gazetted on the 7th of June under the Customs Prohibited Import and Export Regulation says under Clause 4B, it says that a new vehicle paid for on or before 7th June may be still imported, provided that the importer proves to the controller that the new vehicle was paid for on or before 7th June.
Syed Kayum says despite several notices, the car dealers continue to bring in Euro 2 cars. He adds Fiji has been used as a dumping ground for Euro 2 cars, but by January 2021, all cars must become Euro 5 fuel compliant. Kritika Kumar, FBC News.
The Accident Compensation Commission has received 8 applications for workplace death so far this year. Chief Executive Parvez Akbar says they're still scrutinizing these applications and no payout has been made. Seniani Boiler reports.
The Compensation Commission is still processing 8 applications for workplace deaths, which will depend on the nature of the accident.
An injury, there's a process to follow, and the doctors will await for there to be an improvement in the medical condition, and so there's a waiting period before they do the final impairment assessment. And so that's something that needs to be done. That's the guidelines that are followed, and this is the reason why there's a waiting period for that. Once we receive all of that, the final assessment and documentation, we process compensation.
Akbar says slips, trips and falls are a major cause of injury at workplaces.
And then after that, we've got handling material, and then of course injuries from machinery, and then of course stepping on or striking objects, handling tools, and then we have objects falling on individuals, flying pieces, chemicals obviously, and so we've got to be careful with handling hazardous chemicals.
The ACCF has received 108 applications relating to employment accidents, which includes 100 injuries and 8 workplace death applications. Sainian Imboila, FBC News.
The U.S. Embassy in Fiji will continue providing scholarships and exchange programs to locals who want to study in America. Regional Public Affairs Officer for the Embassy, Rebecca Archer-Nepa, says many Fijians have benefited from study programs and are excelling in various areas of expertise. Catherine Krishna has more.
The United States educational exchange programs are aimed at training more young Pacific leaders.
The United States in the Pacific region, we're focused on a free, open, secure, prosperous Pacific, and so that comes through a variety of things, through education, through health, through climate resilience, through economic empowerment, through security cooperation.
The U.S. Embassy says there's a variety of programs available for students to choose from.
We have professional exchanges, we have academic exchanges, and once they get back, they join our alumni group, and the alumni group has access to networking opportunities, funding opportunities, and a variety of other opportunities.
President for Fiji USA Alumni, Isoa Korovulavula, says these exchange programs also help in capacity building.
The United States over the years have actually helped a lot in building capacity of different areas: economic, environment, youth, education, even journalism. So there's a number of widespread of areas that they have actually got Pacific Islanders to attend training in the United States.
The U.S. Embassy is also planning to incorporate climate change programs. Catherine Krishna, FBC News.
In an effort to enhance the coordination of sharing employment data, a memorandum of understanding was signed between the Water Authority and the Fiji National Provident Fund. WAF's Acting General Manager Operations Sekove Uluneau says the MOU is aimed at assisting both organizations in exchanging information and authenticating employment data. He says the agreement will also serve as a form of compliance check for the tender, procurement process, contracts, and the updating of employee details.
Holistically, it's part of improving the service delivery to customers, and also for us, we have stakeholders, contractors, and we hope that this will pave the way forward for both organizations in regards to this area.
People from all walks of life gathered at the Wesley Church in Suva today to say their final goodbyes to the late former Education Minister Philippe Mbole. While presenting his eulogy, Mbole's only granddaughter, Oripa Fuatau, says her grandfather was a man with a big heart and was always there for his family and Vanua. Mbole, 83, died at his home in Bureta Street, Samambola on Wednesday following an illness. He is survived by his wife and daughter.
This old man here raised me. What I remember most is that he was always there to support us, whether it was to support us by attending all our netball games, concerts, prize givings and graduations, or by being there to support and help me pay for my LTA fines when my car was seized,
for driving with an expired wheel tax or to get it out of the car lot because I had unknowingly parked on a yellow line. He was always there to help and bail me out. Yes, there would always be a short lecture to accompany, but when the going was tough, I was always there.
Ahead in sports, Suva retains Skipper Cup title. And Bati ready for tonight's clash with Lebanon. This and more coming up.
For the best classic hits, I only listen to Gold FM here in Singapore. Gold FM, only the classic hits.
My name is Seni Rawa. I love listening to Gold FM here in Nosuri. Gold FM, only the classic hits.
My name is Dino. I'm from Outrigger, Coral Coast, Singapore. I love listening to Gold FM, only the classic hits.
My name is Salote. I love listening to Gold FM here in Nosuri. Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Bula, my name is Marida. Gold FM plays the best classics here in Outrigger.
Suva has successfully defended its Skipper Cup title after defeating Nandrunga 34-26 in the final and its home ground this afternoon. The capital city side took advantage of the early plays of the game and led 2019 at half-time. Apenisa Wangairadnovu reports.
The Sayasifuli side was not deterred by the pressure from the Stallions, especially with 11 of its senior players currently out in camp for the Fijian Latui.
Finished the Skipper Cup 2019. Hats off to both teams, Nandro and Suva. I think it was a very entertaining game. A lot of passion shown by both teams. I believe that we dug deep and we wanted that win to defend the Skipper Cup, and hats off to the boys.
Nandrunga was outnumbered in most parts of the game, seeing Suva off for the advantages. At one point, the Stallions were ready to cause the upset, but its rival was not ready to let loose. Spectators were on their feet minutes away from full time as Nandrunga struggled in trying to make a comeback.
It was really a boost for me to lead a team of young players. You know, we got a lot of experienced players that are in the team, some of the senior players, and things have been solid to me. So I take it as a challenge and it's a great boost to come into this final this year.
Suva snatched the title from Nandrunga last year, but history has it that no other teams apart from the two has laid hands on the Skipper Cup. Apenisa Wangirndobu, FBC Sports.
For the first time in Fiji Rugby League history, 3 top NRL wingers will start for the Vodafone Fiji Mbati. Suliasi Vunivalu, Mikaele Ravalawa and Maiko Sivo will play for the Mbati. Sivo is the top try scorer in the NRL with 12 in 13 games. Ravalawa has 7 and Vunivalu has 6 tries. Vunivalu says Lebanon is a great side, but to have 3 top wingers in the team is a bonus. Vunivalu and Sivu will be at the wings while Ravalawa has been named at centre. The Bati play Lebanon Cedars at 7:40 p.m. tonight.
Me, Mika and Sivu to be in the top wingers in the comp, you know, coming back in this side will add more to the team.
The Tailevu women's rugby team have been crowned the Skipper Cup champions in the women's division. Tailevu defeated Nandrunga 43-10 in the final. They led 24-5 at halftime. Here are the highlights of that match.
And now Tailevu go through. And the try is on. They are in Nandrunga. Will they go in the corner? Brilliant! What if they've got numbers out once again and not needed and over. Now the opportunity out wide. And last time she got caught, this time she shows a clean pair of heels to the Nandrunga defense. And they get the pass away. And the finish is brilliant. Beckett comes for Vasiti Dom. Quick tap and trying to go through. The try is on there. And this will probably cap it up for Tailevu.
The National Rugby League teams will join Team Fiji to the Pacific Games next month. This is a result of a successful meeting between FNRL and the Fiji Association of Sports and National Sports Committee. Apenisa Wangai Randovu reports.
All due levies for teams participating in the Pacific Games have been cleared.
They had a few $1,000s left as a final balance, and so until that balance was paid, they had to choose one team to go. But they've actually paid up the full amount, and so both FNRL men and women's team are going.
Team Fiji chef de mission Patrick Bauer says they are happy that Rugby League is on board.
They're very happy that they're all on board. They've crossed the line, and we're extremely happy. What hurts us the most is when teams are not on board, for whatever reason it may be, and I don't need to quote whatever reason, that they may not be on board. It upsets us a great deal because we think of the athletes.
The Fiji Rugby League side is hoping to cop gold in their Pacific Games outing in Apia, Samoa. The games will be held from the 7th to the 20th of next month. Apinisa Wangarandobu, FBC Sports.
And on to weather. Cloudy conditions with brief showers was experienced over the eastern parts and interior of the larger islands today. Fine weather prevailed elsewhere. Taking a look in the west, it was mostly sunny with temperatures hitting the early 20s, and Ba was at 30 degrees Celsius this afternoon. And eastwards from Pacific Harbour to Suva, a mixture of sun and clouds with breezy conditions. Up north, mostly sunny conditions prevailed in Lambasa, Nambawalu and Savu-Savu. Lambasa hit the highest with 33 degrees Celsius. Now for the tides, the next high tide is at 10:27 tomorrow morning, with a low tide at 4:12 a.m. Sunrise will be at 6:40. As for tomorrow, mostly fine weather prevails in all divisions with cloudy conditions in some areas. And as we look further on to Tuesday, cloudy periods are expected with cool breeze and brief showers. Recapping the main stories, vendors continue to sell undersized crabs. No job loss or pay cut for health workers. And passengers on board MV Ului Nambukelevu rescued. For these stories and others, you can tune in daily to our sister radio station, Gold FM. To our poll question segment this week, we're asking, should municipal councils take a lead role in capturing stray dogs? Visit our FBC website to answer. Now you can always send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email fbcnews@fbc.com.fj or share it with us via our Facebook page FBC News. You can also follow and tweet us your news tips at FBC News or hashtag FBC News. And that was your FBC News for tonight. Until next time, good night.
Hi, I'm Jyotishma. I'm from Singatoka. I love listening to Mirchi FM. Mirchi FM is hot.
Mirchi FM is #1.
I'm Charlene Robert. Mirchi FM rocks in Lambasa.
I'm Soname Nasori Jackson. Mirchi FM is hot.
My name is Raymond Dutt. I'm a Baba Singh Alliance. Mirchi FM is hot in Lambasa.
I'm Kritika from Jackson Nasori. I love listening to Mirchi FM here in Nasori. Mirchi FM is hot.
Mirchi FM, it's hot.